Hello and welcome to Microlocity. This is part 2 of looking through this bin of cars. If you haven't seen part 1, go and watch that. Um, the video's a little over a half hour long and we got maybe through half of this box. So these are cars that I had from a child. I picked up at flea markets, kind of like my junk bin kind of. There's all different models and years and brands, and um, so let's continue. So here we have a little loader from Matchbox, skid steer. That's actually really cool. So this, I don't remember the name. This is from one of those series also from the 90s. The tea bucket. The roller toaster. For fantasy casting, I always like that one too. So here's an old color changer. This is from Road Champs. Yeah, Road Champs. It's a 57 Corvette. Got opening doors which still function. Got suspension. That's all die-cast car. Metal base, metal body. The good old cars. Here's the, I think it's supposed to be a Dodge Viper generic. You got the split window Hot Wheel. There's just this is a bigger than 64 scale. So I got the front of this somewhere. This is a Matchbox semi. I'll leave this to the side and see if I can find the front. So here's a Matchbox. I always like the cars and vehicles that have like moving parts. It adds a lot more fun to the play for a kid. That's actually pretty cool. So here you go. Here's an old Matchbox. So this was the World Class series. So this is a Mercedes 500. That's AMG, rubber wheels. So this is one I had from when I was a kid. I love this car just because of the details, and it was just really cool looking. So that was the kind of like what a premium would be now. So you got the, was that the blown Camaro? Yep. 74 blown Camaro. Oh, so there's the trailer, the majorette that goes to, I think that was in the last video. Can't find the front of it. Oh, here. So that just hooks on there. There's a beat up Lamborghini. So this one's pretty cool. Johnny Lightning. This is Christine. This is a super, super heavy car. Got rubber wheels. Here is a Ford Fiesta. No, Ford Focus from Fruit Loops. You don't see many Ford Focus castings. I did a video on one a while back from Hot Wheels. So that's a generic. There's a Ferrari Testarossa, I think. Hot Wheels Peterbilt. There's a generic. I don't know what that is. This is actually a pretty cool car for another fantasy. This is it's a Catwoman. It's a DC comic. Yeah, see, not all fantasy cars are bad. Sometimes you gotta give them a chance. So this actually has, I don't know if you could see, but like the whiskers and then like the little dimples there, that's actually in the body. That's not a decal or anything. And they painted it silver. And so this part on the side where it's black, that's actually part of the body that they just painted matte black. Here's just some, it's actually a Hot Wheel from some racetrack. There's the old Hot Wheel tractor. There's a Dodge, trying to think, it's a Superbird, Super B, I can't remember. I should know that also. The Chevy Vega. I always like this casting. It's pretty cool how they have the tailpipes molded into the casting. It's a nice touch. Yeah, generic. Here's a generic diecast school bus that I got this at the Dollar Tree way back in the 90s. And this got a lot of play as a kid. There's a Ford Bronco. That's a Tonka fire truck. There's one of my customs I did when I was a kid with nail polish. It was the old Ford panel vans, Model A Ford. I had so many of these things. So here's another, the Frosted Mini Wheat version. That one, this was probably the Rice Krispie version. Thomas the Train. Here's an older Matchbox fire truck with still got the guy in the back. Matchbox Jaguar. That's from McDonald's. There's a Matchbox excavator. There's another with the Racing Champions. I have a bunch of these stock cars. It's Hot Wheel. There's a tiny generic car. There's a Matchbox Indy car. This is from Matchbox. Or no, this is from Hot Wheels. Maybe not. It's a McDonald's car. It's Fast and Furious. It's pretty cool. You hit the button on top and the rockets shoot out. Tailgate opens. Pretty cool. Here's an old Hot Wheel, what do they call it? Action pack or something. It says down there. Yeah, Attack Pack. 1994. So these came in your Happy Meals. Oh yeah, here's the thing you pull back there. So here's a Hot Wheels slot car, or something like that. There's a generic semi-truck. This I think came from Hot Wheels, or no, McDonald's. It says 2015. That's a pullback. Actually, pretty cool. Got the articulation on the wheels and stuff. Here is a Matchbox Ford Expedition. Here's a Hot Wheel that was actually, I believe, a corgi casting. See how plain the bottom looks? And got a snowmobile. It's just a fantasy truck. Here's an old tank. Corvette. It's a Camaro. Generic police motorcycle. This one's pretty old. Matchbox front loader. This is made in China. Pretty nasty. So this must have came from a garage sale or something. Okay, another older generic. It says 1953 Formula Sports Car Special Race. You got Hot Wheel Corvette. Opening hood. There's a generic trailer. Here is a MC toy. Look at that. Now that's that's generic. Looks like someone squished it. It's a Hot Wheel Fantasy. Jaguar. Those were the one of those cars that would the revealers. It would come in the package you would put in water, and then the paper would go away, and that would reveal your car. I have a whole set of those open, and I have a set plus some in the packaging still. It's the grocery cart. There's a generic trailer. There's a generic. So this, I forget the actual name, but this is like a flip bracer. So you'd flip that over, and then when the car would kind of run into another car, so if you put these on a table and you would fly them towards something, it would bump and it would trigger this trigger here, and it would flip that like a mouse trap, and it would just flip the car over. That's pretty cool. I had this. This is one of my original childhood toys. There's a McDonald's car. It's actually kind of cool. Got a cool look to it. Here is a Matchbox forklift. There's a chicken. Here's another majorette. I think the other two were in the last video. So this is a majorette, and it has I forget what that, like, when you see the two pictures in the one, what that's called. It kind of tells a story. Future Freak. So hopefully you can kind of see that. There's a little airplane. This is one of them sets from the 90s. I can't remember the name of that one either. Speed Gleamer or whatever. But I always like the paint combination on this one. You got a hovercraft. There's a back of a Hot Wheel trailer. That was from Hot Wheels, from McDonald's, I think. Generic. There's an old majorette. It's a horse trailer, missing the top. There's a generic Fiero, Pontiac Fiero. There's another tank. That's a Matchbox tank. Generic. There's kind of a fantasy casting police car. It's an Oldsmobile, I think. Maybe it's just a fantasy. Here's a McDonald's stock car. Try and get to the end of this. That's off of something. So there's a pretty cool pullback Volkswagen Bug. This was a color changing Matchbox. Back opens, you got the men in there. Got the street sweeper. Generic. Let me see. I'm gonna pull out just the good stuff. Here's an older Hot Wheel Thunderbird. Pretty heavy casting. Yeah, so here's the Rice Krispie version. Got the old Lincoln Town Car from Matchbox. I tried to fix the paint with some my mom's iridescent nail polish, the pearl white. There's a generic Jeep. It's a generic truck, like a Chevy. There's a Matchbox Dodge Viper. Oh, there's the top of that horse trailer. There you go. It's just missing the lift gate. So here's a pullback. What is this? That's a Volkswagen Golf. Land Rover Defender. There's an old Hot Wheel Corvette. This is another one that was really good on the tracks. Very fast. There's a Camaro. This is a Racing Champs Nissan. They're Road Champs. Was that the emoji car? This is pretty cool. This is from Matchbox. So it has like the RAM push bar in the front. So this is what you're missing when you pass up those fantasy castings. I mean, it's made for fun. Oh, there. That's how it works. So you turn that and it pushes out the RAM bar and then bam. Cool. Golden grams. There's the seaplane. There's a Reese cup. Mazda Miata. Here's an old Matchbox Corvette. So here's another one of those, what are those? Power Rocket. Yeah, really fast on the track. So this is a Lotus, I think. Is that a Lotus? Or is that a Ferrari? Don't remember. This is super, super heavy. It's a small car, but man, it got some weight to it. Like, I don't know if you could see how thick that metal base is. Like where the wheels are. Like wherever you see the yellow, that's the base. Generic. Here's an old Golf Indy car. Hot Wheel. That's an old one. That's a Fantasy. Here's a Matchbox. Camaro. Or not Camaro. Corvette. That's from the Dark Rider series back in the 90s. Cool looking car. Here you go, here's a red line. That's the paddy wagon. Whoops. See what the bottom of the red line looks like? Let's see. This was a McDonald's car. I added some tampos to it. That's a McDonald's car too. Look at that junk. You got stickers for rims. Come on. Fantasy. Oh, there's a cool Hot Wheel motorcycle. I think it's a BMW if I'm not mistaken. Yep, BMW. Another Indy car. There's another one of the Chrysler Thunderbolt concept car. This might have been the first version, if I remember right. The first variation. I think it's about it of the... Oh, here's an old one. It's an AMC Gremlin. I've had this forever. It's called Greased Gremlin. Got some cool graphics on that one. Dodge Viper. $20 bill. Is that the Nash? It's a Matchbox train. Here's an old Yatming. This is like one of those airport vehicles. There's a Tonka. This is another, like a Yatming. Actually pretty cool looking. Here's another Racing Champions. Look at those graphics. Shark Attack. Matchbox boat. There's some snow runner thing. There's an old Matchbox, super fast. And I think that's it. Everything else is just generic and pieces of stuff. You want to see? See? Okay, so there is a pile. I have a whole nother one of these boxes to go through. So I'll probably do that eventually. So hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully you saw some castings that you had when you were a kid or something and brought back some memories. That's kind of why I like doing these types of videos. Just being able to see something and be like, oh yeah, I remember that. So, all right, well, thank you for watching and see you next time.